on the road. Yeah, man.
Hey, so what was that homeowner's name again? The Asian lady that you got?
Fulan.
What's her last name?
Trin. 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 What'd you call her?
Ting.
Yeah. You racist son of a bitch. You racist son of a bitch. You fucking goofball.
Because I said it 2 different ways to my homeowner this evening.
Because you're a jackass.
The first time I said Miss Ting, and then the second time I said Miss Dang.
Jesus. You are an idiot.
And then I said to Jay, I was like, yo, Jay, what's her last name again? He's like, Buford. I'm like, what?
Buford?
Dude.
Who, Fulan Trin?
Yeah.
Man, y'all some pasty motherfuckers, man.
I can't.
She's a very nice Vietnamese lady.
She is. Cheap fuck.
Yeah.
So how's it going with the supplements on the other slope?
I think he put it on hold, waiting for me to get those pictures that I got today.
Oh, okay.
So they should be moving it along tonight. I talked to that girl that I climbed this morning. Yeah, she's gonna sign on Friday. I took her through the process on the phone and answered all her questions. She was like, I don't have a lot of money. I can't really come out of pocket a whole lot. And I was like, you're not going to pay anything more than your deductible, you know?
Does she know her deductible?
She thinks it's 1,000, but she's going to find out.
Tell her. Let's just get the approval and we can wait however long we need after that.
I told somebody else that today. He sent me a scope and he didn't want to send me the scope. And I was just telling him, I was like, you don't have to do it right away. Just let me get started on it so I can get it approved. And then we can build it whenever you want, you know? But I looked at his scope and his deductibles, like he has one of those ACV policies where it's like 30, it ends up being like $3,346.
So he's got a percentage clause.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good deal, but I don't know. I'm not looking forward to that conversation later.
How big's the roof?
Like 18, maybe 17, 18. Something like that.
So he's paying like a third.
Yeah. That is unfortunate. Let's review that restaurant we were at.
Okay.
I had AI type us an agenda, and it looks pretty good. Did you look through it?
Dude, I was going to applaud you on typing this out then. You should have never told me that.
I'm not going to do that. Come on, man.
Never told me that.
No, I don't need the credit. I'm just this smart. Just this smart. All right.
I was like, damn. I looked at it. I was like, damn, this guy actually really wrote this all out.
What a professional.
I was going to applaud you on telling you, like, dude, you come up with things very easily, like right off the top of your dome. Good for you.
Well, to be correct, you have to give AI enough information to go off.
A sentence.
Well, my question was good.
That's all you have to give them. Bullshit.
Huh?
You just have to give them a question. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, but they nailed it. Good old AI nailed it, and that's what it's for. Fuck, make it easy.
Dude, she used to get AI to do her homework. The AI that's on Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah.
That's rad. How'd she do that? Oh, just answering your questions.
She just asked it the questions, and it would answer the questions, and then it would do it for about a week, and then they had an update to the AI on Snapchat, and it wouldn't do it no more.
No, because everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. AI is going to make a lot of things change in this world, but I don't think it's going to necessarily take away from anyone. It's just going to create more opportunities. You know what I mean?
Different opportunities.
Yeah. I, for one, embrace it. I love it. I like to use it for my clickbait.
Yes. Yes.
That's important. All right, let's see. So you and I, we went a couple days ago. Me and old Sticky Ricky over here. We went to we went to this restaurant in downtown Raleigh, which is it's called The Place at the Table. And the concept of it was just really cool. I'm involved in the recovery community here, the addiction community. And so I knew about it from them, but him and I've been there a couple times. The concept is everybody gets a place at the table. Everybody is welcome and can get a meal to go there. So we went there and I thought it was really nice. So the background of the restaurant, I don't know how long it's been open, but the type of cuisine they had is just regular, seemed like American, right?
Yeah, I want to say, yeah, American. Yeah.
I mean, I had a turkey sandwich and huevos rancheros, so yeah, that's American.
It's Central America.
Yes, Central American, fucking American. It's American, damn it.
It's America. It's got America in it. So it's
Yeah. And what were your first impressions when we got there?
I'm not even gonna lie, I was a little standoffish, just because the perception that I built up when you first told me about it. You was like, "Oh, it's a place at the table." So like, my mind went to like, "Oh, it's a chow hall." It's like
You were thinking
it's
it was like a food pantry, like a where the homeless people go to get their meals. I knew you were, you son of a bitch.
the way you brought it out
Yeah.
made me like, all right, what the fuck is this guy gonna take me to? But you know what? I'm gonna be open minded.
I'm gonna support my friend and his little thing.
I'm ready for new adventures. You know, I'm ready for new adventures. I'm open minded. I'm gonna be completely neutral.
Okay.
And then it was extremely welcoming. Extremely welcoming.
Yeah.
That lady at the door, literally like right there, she opened the door for us. Hey, what'd she say? She said, did she say like thank you for coming or I'm glad you're here or something like that?
Something, yeah. It's definitely a rehearsed thing that they say.
But it was very welcoming.
Yeah, it was. I had the same experience. The first time I went in there, I had the same feeling like, okay, it's where, forgive me for saying this, but this is where, homeless people and poor people go to get food.
And
And
that's
me,
where it's geared towards.
right? But, it was the whole setup is everyone has a place at the table. So, we went up, we looked at the menu. It's kind of like a snack bar kind of thing. Like you can see the whole menu on the back behind the food bar. And then you order what you want and they ask you how much you want to pay, which is funny.
it even though you told me about it beforehand, like it still took me off guard. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Do I want to pay the suggested price? Of course I'm going to pay the suggested price.
Yeah. What kind of question is that? Would you like to pay the suggested price, a reduced price, or there's 3 of them.
Or nothing at all.
Was it nothing at all? Or you could work off your meal. You could work an hour. You could volunteer your time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just amazing.
That is amazing.
That is really cool.
It gives people opportunity.
Right. And I know people that were homeless and now they're in homeless shelters, but I've seen them in there working, getting a good meal, and the meal was good. It was really good.
Amazing. It was very flavorful.
I've had 3. What did you have?
I had the chicken bacon ranch sandwich.
Oh, that's right. And I had
the home style chicken noodle soup.
Oh, that's right. And you got some fries too.
No, chips.
Didn't you? Oh, yeah, it was chips. And I had the huevos rancheros. I've been getting that every time. And I also got a sandwich because I was starving. And they were both phenomenal.
And you ate both of them.
Yeah, you're damn right I did. Yeah. So when we're ordering the staff, so the staff is made up of, you could tell some people were volunteering. They had handwritten stickers on
Yeah,
their shirts.
I did notice that.
Yeah. What was your impression of the other people that worked there?
They seemed very friendly. They all had smiles on their face. They all seemed like they were getting along with each other. Everyone was communicating. Like I loved the atmosphere. Like the atmosphere was it just felt right.
Yeah. To me, it feels in there every time I've been in there, like help, like people are trying to help each other. That's the feeling that I have in there. Like everyone's here, like we're all in it together. That's kind of the feeling that I get when I'm in there.
Family atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely. And then the service was quick. The
Yeah,
food came out relatively quickly.
maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. On busier days, I've been in there on a weekend, and there is a line usually to order,
No
but
shit.
I I didn't see any breakdown in the serving process, so that was good. Um, and then the price and the value you can't beat, especially if you're not going to
No,
pay anything.
no. I mean the price and the value was completely. It was great. It was reasonable.
Yeah, and for people like for me in particular, like I think I had just got paid, so I'm going to pay full price, or I think
Yeah, and
I paid a little bit extra.
yeah, you pay a little bit extra.
Yeah, didn't you? You also paid a little bit extra,
Yeah, I
right?
paid extra too. Just pay it forward type deal.
Right. And I think that model, that business model, is a winning thing. You
Yeah,
can do
because
that.
they give you the opportunity to pay extra if you wanted to.
Yeah. Try to do that at Best Buy. Like this computer is $1,800, but today we'll let you buy it for 2,100.
Yeah,
Like
for the
sweet, pay it forward to Best Buy.
yeah,
But for food in that atmosphere, that is the perfect thing.
it is.
Because I feel like paying more there.
And then literally as soon as you finished, somebody came over to grab your plates.
Yeah. They were definitely not understaffed.
No, no, they weren't. They had plenty of help.
I think that has to do with their business model.
Hmm. Which is
Probably got,
great. They have a very good mission.
10 people a day probably coming in for a free meal. Like, yeah, I'll hang out for an hour. That's 10 hours of labor.
Hmm.
That's a good deal.
See, like that, a place like that, I wouldn't mind donating to or contributing to
Hmm.
because I know where it's going.
Right. Oh yeah, and the proceeds from what they get put back into the addiction and recovery community to help them. And it's
Yeah.
located right up the street from Healing Transitions, which is it's a homeless shelter with a drug and alcohol program, which is a phenomenal program. I actually spoke there tonight, and
Oh, really?
it was great. I did.
Hmm.
That was good shit, man.
Mr. Spokesman.
I was very nervous.
I saw it on your face.
Yeah, it sucked.
Well, let's finish this and then we'll talk about your speech.
Yeah. So summarize.
What was your final thoughts on the place? Like,
I love it, and I'm gonna be a regular. I think it's right in the middle of downtown, and I have a lot of business in that part of town, and it's clean, it's good,
yeah,
and if I'm broke, I'm definitely gonna be there. You know?
you got to try the chicken noodle soup next time because you could definitely tell it was homemade.
Really?
It was extremely flavorful. It had so much seasoning. Didn't have a lot of salt, which was not bad because chicken noodle soup sometimes is really salty.
Yeah.
You can tell everything was fresh. Everything was really fresh. It wasn't soggy. It was done just perfectly. The chicken still had kind of like a crunch to it in a sense.
Oh, I love that. I
And
will
it
try
was
it.
fresh chicken. You could tell like they cooked the chicken maybe on the grill or something, and they just tore it apart in like strips,
Yeah. That's awesome.
almost like how pulled pork is. The pork is pulled apart. That's kind
Yeah.
of how the chicken was like kind of just pulled apart.
Like shredded kind of?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What were your
Very,
final thoughts? What do you think?
oh, definitely. I'll go back.
What do you rate it on a we should do like a Ricky scale. What do you rate it on the Ricky scale?
I would give it a solid 7.6.
7.6. Is that like 2 thumbs up bums?
Yeah, 2 thumbs up. I mean, on a scale 1 to 10. The reason why, if they had more sides to choose from, it would definitely be in the 8 or above range. But I understand why they're limited on like sides and their menu because they don't want to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand that.
Right. And then you know what I did like is that they have a little serve yourself chilled water station
Yes.
by the
Yeah.
door.
So if especially on a hot day, that's extremely beneficial to people.
Oh yeah. And we're not waiting around for, a waiter to bring me a water. You can just go grab it yourself.
And you can have as much as you want.
Yeah. I give it I want to give it a 10, but you can't be perfect.
You can't. It's not a perfect place. The atmosphere is really good, yeah. But I'm a very big foodie and I like my options when it comes to food.
I get with that. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's still a really good restaurant. I mean, the atmosphere was great, the experience was great, the price and the value was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to figure out. I kind of like this layout. We should go eat at all the places and review them.
We should. I mean, try new places.
That was a good pick. We got to find other restaurants or businesses or services like that are kind of not well known. I'll work on that in my off time.
Kind of like hole in the wall type house places.
Right, or small business like, hey, my aunt opened up a little egg diner. All she serves is eggs and lettuce. Like, okay, I'll try it. What you got? Yeah, man, that was a place at the table. Go check it out if you're in downtown Raleigh.
Yeah, definitely go check it out.
We made Ricky like it, even though he was skeptical at the beginning. He's like, I gotta go eat with all these poor people. All these fucking poor people.
You're making me sound horrible.
That's me, guys. That's just me.
That's it.
Oh, that was good, man. That was really good.
It was.
All right. See, that agenda was perfect. That was pretty short, though, huh?
It was pretty short, but I mean, you don't really have to go into too crazy details.
No, you know what I think we could do this? Like, we could do hot take reviews. Just little 10 minutes and put those out by themselves.
Like, you ever watch Barstool Pizza? Look him up.
Okay.
He reviews pizza all over the country.
Dude. Yeah.
And he's a very hard one to please because he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So New York is known for their pizza. And I keep telling you that. Like, nothing compares to New York and the pizza. Besides Chicago. Chicago has a good deep dish.
That's true.
But he reviews all of it. There's this other guy. He reviews food places, and usually after he goes and does the review, they end up getting swamped with fucking businesses if they're like a good place.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. I'm not going to ask her.
That's what we got to do. We want to be on that level. Like, oh shit, we want Chris and Ricky to come to our restaurant.
Exactly.
That would be cool. We'll get there. But don't make me come in your restaurant, then you serve me shit. I'm gonna spill the water on your carpet. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna start. I think we can get a start with these, just posting them on Substack. You don't even know what Substack is.
So I be getting your notifications. I have the app, but I haven't really explored it.
Yeah. Substack from what I understand, I mean, I'm playing with it every day, but it's what it seems like to me. It's just a social media site. It's kind of like a Facebook and a YouTube mixed,
Is
but
it like a Blogger Central kind of thing?
yeah, mostly blogs and but there's a tab for podcasts that you can post there, and then you can publish your own pieces on whatever. Like the stuff that I see is, people just telling their experiences, just people sharing experiences, what it seems like to me.
So you posted it to Substack?
Yeah. Substack is like a publication, like a lot of authors and writers and journalists use that platform. So I started it because I am writing a book, but I kind of have writer's block on the story.
Why?
I think it's because like things got better. When I started writing it, it was in a darker time, and it was like it's kind of based on my family, but it is a fictional story. It's a serial killer story,
Okay.
but kind of I don't even want to say it, but based on my family. I guess when someone whenever it gets finished and put out, people will be like, "Oh my god, you wrote that about who?" Do you really think he's like that? Like, no. I wrote it about my fictional son who, like, the character is based loosely on my youngest, but I kind of broadened it out from there and made up his childhood and made up, his high school, and gave him a bunch of dark tendencies that I have personally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know where that's going. I may never finish it. Who knows? But I've got like, I don't know, 20, 25 pages written.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, it's not gonna be an overnight type of thing.
No, and the reason I started it is to just start. Like, I want to write a book. I know that. Just start doing it. Just start writing and see what happens. So that's the basis for that. But I've always liked writing. Do you like writing?
I haven't wrote in years.
Did you used to write?
Poetry here and there.
Really?
Yeah. But my one best friend from New York, he is really, really good at writing.
Nice. Does he have any books?
He's in the process of writing one right now.
That's cool.
I think he's at about 100 pages.
Nice.
And he is also writing about a really good story. And I don't want to give too much away because he sends me he sends me pages here and there, and it's a good story. So I don't want to want to spoil anything. It's very suspenseful. It's like making you want to like read more, making you want to hear the next part. What's going to happen next?
We'll keep it. We'll keep talking about it, and maybe we'll get your friend on one day when he gets closer. And by then we would have been promoting it for a long time.
Yes.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
You have to hook me up with him. I like writing.
He's really cool people's man. I've been telling them about you.
Yeah. You're a good friend. Like some people, it's hard to send something that you create to just anyone,
Mm-hmm.
Like if I create something and I share it with someone, it's usually really personal, it's really private, and it's really vulnerable. So if anybody sends you that kind of shit, I think that says a lot about you and your character.
Exactly.
You're a good person, you're a good friend. I have found that to be true.
Thank you.
But I share a lot of shit. And every time you do, it is weird. Like I hate doing like tonight. I hate speaking in front of everyone, but I know it's important and I know it's going to help.
How many people did you speak in front of?
At least 100. It was a big ass room.
And how did it go?
It went well. It went well. Did I send you that? I recorded it.
I don't know.
I hit record and I set the phone down right in front of me and I talked, and then I came home, I put it in CapCut and I took a picture of myself. So it is a audio and video podcast, but it's just my face and then the audio from my little spiel that I gave earlier.
What was your main points of focus?
Huh?
What was your main points of focus?
The whole when someone asked you in like AA or NA or any of those 12-step programs to share, like to speak at a meeting like this, they want to hear, or I don't know what they want to hear, but the template of that is I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell how it was when I like growing up, what happened during my drinking, and then what it's like today. So I kind of hit those 3 points. I'm all over the place. Like I didn't plan it. I was thinking of planning it. Like, what am I going to say? I'm going to kind of write notes and do that. But then it comes off disingenuous, I believe, if you're rehearsed and you're reciting.
Yeah. So that means, because you're not talking about things that literally come to your brain at that very given second.
Right.
You're premeditated what you're going to talk about.
Yeah. And that makes it easier, but it also makes it less genuine. If I'm just reading what I wrote, it doesn't connect. It doesn't hit. But I got like a bunch of people came up to me after and got my number and thanked me. One dude was crying, which was cool. He was like, "Your story is it's exactly like mine." And I was like, and that's what it's about. Like, because I think I sound stupid. I think my story sucks. I think no one should listen to me. But that's all the shit that I'm fighting in my head. I don't know what they're hearing. I don't know what they're taking in.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of stories from other alcoholics, and it's probably the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly me. But they don't know they said it. They don't know they did that.
Exactly.
It's a really cool process.
And I told you, I think I told you, I don't know when I told you, but what'd you call it? That, you never know how many people are actually been through the same type of situation you have.
Right.
Without presenting it to them.
Yeah. Oh man. It was cool though. And after that I got like 4 new sponsees. So that'll be fun too. We'll see if they call.
Good. You're a little mentor now.
Yeah. Everyone's really gung-ho in the moment. It's like,
well, it's the early stages.
Yeah. It's like our homeowners, like they're all about it when we're there.
Yeah, and then give it a couple of days and it's like different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Same thing though. I'm just generating sobriety leads. Who wants to come get sober with me?
Yeah.
It was a good time though. And beforehand, I was getting dressed, trying to find something to wear. But traditionally, like you have Sophie, she's there. If you were going to go out, she pretty much dresses you,
Yeah.
So I was sending pictures to my ex to pick my clothes for me tonight.
Does she help?
Yeah, she helped me. She's like, no. Do you have anything else? Okay, wear that one.
I need to get some new stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I need to get some gloves.
Some G-Loves?
Yeah, we need some gloves, brother.
Mm-hmm. Dude came out to Hani's today, and he was an adjuster, and he did it with a fucking drone.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go. My chalk had already washed off.
Did he find them at least?
Yeah, he was actually really cool, and he gave me a tablet. He's like, "Here, you can look at this and see everything that I'm seeing." And he had his own, and I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool."
That is cool.
And he said his drone was $1,800, and it films in 5K high def, and you could see it, like you could see all the wind damage up there.
Mine, it films in 2.7K, but you know, it's a starter.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
definitely a starter. It takes really good photos. It's
that's
just
all
the
you need.
filming is like 2.7K. It can go 35 miles an hour, and it has almost a mile distance.
Dang, that's cool. Did you play with it?
Not yet. At
No.
his house, yeah.
Wonder when we're gonna have an opportunity to use it.
Well, I gotta get with this guy in Clayton, and I'm thinking about using it then.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second, but I gotta run inside real quick.
Some spider claws, bitch. That was a blonde moment, babe. My bad, my bad, my bad.
What'd you do? You getting a blankie?
Nah, I had the blinky, son. Leave me alone.
I had the blankie.
It's cold out here.
It is cold. Cold out here for a pimp.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
No, you weren't.
Oh, so the feud reviewer guy, his name is Keith Lee.
Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll
Look
check
him
him
up.
out. Have you seen Uncle Roger?
Oh,
Hiya.
hiya.
You can't have the MSG. Hiya.
MSG, hiya.
Hiya. I love him, man. He's hilarious.
Google.
He's
You
my
you
favorite.
watch Google? Do you watch Google?
Gugu?
Google.
No.
Google Foods.
Uh-uh.
He did like a snippet. He was kind of making fun of Mr. Roger, and then they ended up doing a cooking show together.
No shit. With Mr.
Yeah.
Rogers?
Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
The Asian guy?
Oh, never mind. I was thinking of Mr. Rogers. Fucking, won't you be my neighbor?
My neighbor.
Yeah.
Hello, neighbor. I love that show.
I do too. Hey, let's read this story. This was the one we were going to do on a podcast before, but we didn't get to it. Let's go through this story and see what it says. There's a bunch of bullet points. I'll read them and then we'll talk about it. The title of the story is Solving the Mystery of My Red Penis.
Oh, here we go.
The story of my red penis is a tale of mystery and adventure, a quest filled with juvenile confusion and dangerously high levels of awkwardness. In the winter, after I turned 21, I started to find dead skin on my underwear. Ew. Every day I would notice more and more accumulating there, along with an increasing itchiness in the area of my perineum, where that skin was coming from. Since the region was not visible to my eye, I never noticed the patch of red, irritated skin I had there. But after putting up with the discomfort for a while, I figured it was time to do something about it. I pluck up the courage and I think they misspelled that. I pluck up the courage and with this symptom under my belt, went to my first doctor ready to face the awkwardness. So my man, he's got a little redness going on in his perineum.
His perineum.
Where's the perineum? You don't know where the do you even have a perineum?
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
The perineum. Well, I don't know what the perineum is, but something's wrong with my man's dick, and he's going to the doctor. He's 21. Well, good for you. All right, continue.
Sounds like a problem.
Because the problem was located in the genital area, I figured the right doctor to see was a urologist. I felt a bit anxious coming to the appointment. I guess most people wouldn't be thrilled by the idea of having their genitals examined either. But bear in mind that back then, I was a 21-year-old virgin with no sexual experience whatsoever. My penis had remained concealed for many years.
No shit.
Kept secret like the Ark of the Covenant, waiting for an Indiana Jones to discover it. I had always pictured someone a bit different to show my penis to for the first time. But I guess a short-winded 60-year-old doctor with tired analytical eyes and a shaky hand would have to do. That's awkward, man. I've never... Well, I suppose if I did have something wrong with my wiener, I would go have it looked at. But what... A 21-year-old virgin... What could possibly be going on with his dick?
Circumcised. He wasn't circumcised right.
Ooh. That is a possibility.
That's what it sounds like.
It does. All right. He asked me to drop my pants and lie down and instructed me to move my penis right and left like a joystick. Then my testicles. Then my testicles. In order to expose the whole affected area. Yo, that just sounds like a doctor being a pervert. It's like, hey, I got this young dude out. Let's see him play with his junk for a minute.
Let's see him move his balls for me.
Yeah. Can you? All right. Now left. Now right. Now left.
Can you grab him like a sack of potatoes and just do one of these?
That's gross. Okay. As I stood back up, pulling up my pants, my face still red from the embarrassment, he passed a disappointing sentence. This is a skin problem. I can't really help you with that. Oh, you should see a dermatologist. Like a teenage girl with daddy issues, I had given away my flower to the wrong guy. That same evening, I looked for a dermatologist and made the second of a large list of doctor appointments. Oh, so that was his first experience with somebody else looking at it at 21 years old. That's just sad.
I dealt with it when I was 21 because when I was in the firehouse, we had to go through physical exams and they had to check for hernias.
Yeah.
And it was always just one creepy ass fucking doctor, dude. Oh. And like every single year it was the same guy.
He's like, All right, cough. You didn't cough good enough. Cough.
No, he would
Cough.
just literally take his 2 fingers, tuck them up underneath your ball sack, and cough. And he's like, oh, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
But
You're
like,
real good.
it's the same guy every single year, and there's like 30, 40 freaking dudes in this firehouse. So he's
Ugh.
touching freaking 40 ball sacks.
My man is the sack master.
You-
That poor dude. Oh,
Time.
what decisions did he make wrong to end up where he did? And that man
What
went to
led him
college.
down? What led him down this path?
Yeah, dude, he has a PhD.
Did he have daddy issues?
Yeah, something. Somebody stole his sack when he was a kid.
Yo.
All right. Moving on. My first visit to the dermatologist came a few days later. The fact that it was the second time going through such a process made it only slightly less awkward. He prescribed me some lotions. He prescribed some lotions for me and scheduled the second visit the following week. The lotions didn't do anything. So on my second visit, he took another look at it and wrote me a prescription for a new lotion. 7 days later, my skin is the same, and I'm walking to my third appointment with this guy wondering whether he is really just a creep that is writing me prescriptions for a placebo to get to see my dick every week. Yo, I think that's the case, sir. Sir, that is actually what's happening.
I think the doctor's trying to have him de-virginalize himself.
Or it sounds like he lost a bet with someone
Yeah.
in the doctor's office. He's like, hey, man, how many times do you think I can get this dude in to give him fake lotion for his dick?
Well, I got about 5 more prescriptions I can write.
Yeah. We're almost out of lotions to try. Okay.
Gotta go to radioactive ones next.
It's a green ooze lotion.
Ew.
That helps with red, itchy penis skin.
Palmer's crack cream.
Okay, so I'm
Wait.
there.
If he's talking about the area underneath his sack, then that's also called the dolt area.
That's the chode.
That's the chode, or I used to call it the dolt.
The what?
Dolt.
Dolt? D-O-L-T?
D-U-L-T.
Why? The dolt?
Look it up.
This doesn't sound like something I want to Google. It sounds like it's going to show me some naughty pictures if I Google that. And I'm a Christian man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So my man's at the doctor. So I'm there, pants down, exposing my privates once again. And this time the doctor notices a new patch of dry skin a bit further up on the base of my penis. He takes a sample. He takes the sample of skin there to get it sent to the laboratory, and it turns out to be a genital wart.
Oh.
So a virgin. I thought the perineum was like on the bottom of the head. Like,
yeah, maybe.
I can't even describe it. Definitely not going to show you. I think it's like where if this was a dick and facing me is the top of my dick, this would be the bottom of it. I think, you know, that little like skin right here.
We're really talking about this right now.
We're totally talking about dicks.
Okay.
So, you know, that like little stringy piece right on the bottom of your dick, if you have one.
Stringy piece.
Yeah, you know, like all the skin meets and there's like it kind I can't even describe it. I think I'm right. Anyway, to this day, it remains a complete mystery how the hell I got an STD despite being a virgin. I don't think you're a virgin.
Don't sound like it.
I think someone took something from you.
So I looked up perineum.
Okay.
And so here's the picture.
Hold on, let me blow my screen up so I can get a look at this dick. That doesn't look like anything.
Right. So it's the thin layer of skin between your genitals, and it has parentheses, vaginal opening or scrotum, and anus. Inside your body, your perineum consists of tissue that makes up the bottom of your pelvic cavity. It's a common site for tears during childbirth.
Not for me. That still doesn't. I still don't know what that is.
I don't know either. It's not giving me anything.
Is it that piece of skin that runs from like the bottom of your dickhead all the way down your ball sack? All right, kids, close your eyes. We're gonna get a look at this.
Well, that yo, we really talking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That skin is like the last part of your body that's been sealed. So you know how it, like if you ever look at a piece of plastic, how it's heat clamped, and you know it's like has that one edge. Well, that's where your body's been sealed. You know, literally, that the way that skin is.
Balls last.
Yeah, the way that is, like that's how it's been sealed.
Actually, that makes sense, because that's the only place on your body where it looks like that, where there's a seam, right? It makes sense.
And
it's just science. Just
goes
science.
Goes right to your ass crack.
It sure does.
And a river runs through it.
And a river runs through it. Okay. Everything I read about genital warts told me that they are caused by the human papillomavirus, HPV, and transmitted through close genital contact. Although this can technically mean you can contact the virus while being a virgin, it implies that you must have had at least some sort of sexual experience where you came in close contact with somebody else's genitals. That had definitely not been my case. Back then, I had a black belt in virginity. I hadn't even kissed a girl before, much less been anywhere near a vagina. That genital wart was the fetus of Jesus in Virgin Mary's womb. A true miracle. I kind of think he's lying.
Sounds like it.
So he's got genital warts that can only be caused when you're in close contact with genitals. He's never kissed a girl. What about a guy? You didn't say that, did you?
Yeah, he didn't say that.
Okay, that's telling. My dermatologist sent me back to the surgeon to get the wart removed. Things were escalating really quickly. My dad, whom I'd been forced to update on the whole predicament when things started to get serious, drove me to the hospital on the day of the surgery. They made me wear one of those smocks that tie up in the front, exposing your ass, and carried me on a stretcher to the operating theater. Everything looked like the medical shows I would watch on TV. I laid there face up, slightly blinded by the big round flashlights directly above me, with doctors showing up in my field of vision as they hovered around getting the equipment ready. My penis, always a secondary actor in my life, if not just an extra, was finally having its breakthrough. The center of everyone's attention, all the spotlights on it. Get ready, buddy. The cameras are rolling. It's your time to shine. Very proud of this moment. Someone's gonna touch it. Yay!
They're gonna be all over it.
Yeah. The medical team gathered around me, ready to start, and I felt a sharp pain as they punctured my penis to administer local anesthesia.
Oh.
I don't like
put
that.
him to sleep. Oh.
They put the ween to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure that was a needle. The only thing I would feel throughout the whole operation. I decided that since the surgery was not very complex, I had been left awake. I might as well try to enjoy the experience. It certainly was a unique situation, having the surgeon and his nurses work diligently on my private parts as I laid there witnessing the whole thing, or rather as much of it as my position allowed me to. The show did not last very long, though. and soon I found myself back in the changing room, carefully putting my pants on as I tried not to touch the muddle of bandages that was now my penis. I like how he writes. The post-operative was not fun. When I removed the dressing, the whole area down there was a beach in Normandy on June 7th, 1944. The whole area down there was a beach in Normandy on June 7th, 1944. A bunch of bloody, amorphous meat with the colors ranging from flesh tones to yellowish to red and purple. My swollen penis looked like the face of Rocky Balboa after the fight with Apollo Creed. It was a truly sad thing. I had certainly not given many satisfactions to my penis over the course of my life, and it seemed like suffering was all it knew. Dude, he sounds like his dick's a hostage, and he's been torturing it for 21 years. This poor kid, man. Fortunately, the recovery was quick. In just 3 or 4 days, it finally resembled the shape of a penis again, and I could take a pee without my heart breaking for the sight of it alone. Yet, when I thought this whole trauma was behind me, fate sent a last dose of cringe directly my way. Ooh, that sounds good. I had a stitch done during the procedure to close the area where they had surgically removed the genital wart, and they told me I could just go to any local clinic to have it removed. I went to one and told them what I needed, and they sent me to the first available nurse, an attractive lady about my age. Ooh, that's tough. The scene that plays next depicts a situation that, as silly as it was, still remains as one of the most embarrassing moments in my life. Before we continue, what do you think happens?
I think he got hardened.
You do?
I think he got hardened.
Oh, that sounds plausible.
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that.
You're gonna stick with the old boner garage.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. A nervous young boy timely enters the room and is noticed by the nurse. Nurse? Hello. I was told you need some stitches removed. Is that correct? Boy, nervously. Yes, that's right. Nurse. Okay, where do you have them? Boy, more nervously. Well, it's only one, and it's on my penis. That's how we should have said that. And the nurse, caught off guard, okay, go ahead and lay down there. As she turns her back on me to sterilize some tools, I pull my pants down and lay face up on the stretcher. It goes without saying that at this point, I'm blushing and embarrassed as fuck. And you all know what happens to a penis when you're feeling like that. The stitch was on the mid to upper part of my uncircumcised penis. Oh, that's even worse. But the foreskin had collapsed into itself, so much out of my nervousness that it was completely covering the stitch. When the nurse turned around, what she saw was a dude on her stretcher with his dick out and no stitch on it. A hot nurse that's 21 years old. That's embarrassing. Nurse.
Right.
The nurse is confused and a bit alarmed. Wait, so where's the stitch? I look down and realize what's going on. I quickly reach out for my penis and clumsily pull the skin back to expose the stitch before she has a chance to call security on me for pulling a Louis C.K. in her office. That's a good analogy. She finally spots the stitch with great relief, I'm sure, and proceeds to remove it as I lay there trying to stop my memory from registering the moment. Soon after, I leave the office as in a trance, not really processing yet what has just happened, but glad to be over with this whole damn thing. Oh, there's a little bit more. The problem was that, of course, it was not over. In focusing on the miraculous discovery of the genital wart, everybody had forgotten about the issue that got me into the doctor in the first place. But I for sure had not, as my testicles, perineum area was still pretty dry and itchy. Wary of my first dermatologist, who had only been taking shots in the dark until he stumbled upon the wart, I decided to try with a new one. Another doctor. Jesus. This second dermatologist aimed in the right direction surprisingly quickly. He wanted to know whether there was any history of skin conditions in my family. He checked my nails and saw their thickness and the tiny dents on them. He recognized the genital wart had just been an unrelated incident, and it was pretty certain about what my real diagnosis was. After 4 doctors, near 10 examinations of my genitals, surgery, and a lot of time of emotional distress, I finally got my answer. I suffered from genital psoriasis. Here's the last. Oh wait, no, there's more. Nowadays, my life as a man with genital psoriasis is not very different from anyone else. I have a few patches of psoriasis that get worse periodically and a set of lotions to bring them back to a better state. And that's about the scope of the disease for me. It has occasionally inconvenienced me, but generally not hurt my sex life significantly, or my general well-being for that matter. During all these years since I was diagnosed, I have familiarized myself with psoriasis. I am aware now of the strong psychological aspect of the disease, and I have come to understand better where it comes from and in what condition it intensifies and diminishes. While it is something that I will always have to live with, I now understand how being more in tune with myself and my body helps me deal with my psoriasis better. Huh. Well, that turned out to be a horrible story.
That was very interesting.
It was. It reminds me, I'm going to tell you a story about a friend of mine back home in Nevada. So he was diagnosed with one of the crazy popular cancers that everyone knows. I just can't think of it. But he was getting treatments and stuff, and he had to go to the doctor to get a checkup. He was telling us this story at work, like the next day, and he's like, the nurse came in, and she was smoking hot, like super hot, and he was already in the gown, and he's like, I was sitting there, and like while she was turned around, messing with the devices and the, at the counter, like he was fantasizing about her, and he got a boner, but he was sitting up and he had the gown on, and then he's like, then she turned around and she told me to lie on my back in the gown. He's like, and I had a fucking boner. He's like, there's nothing I could do. I was like, what'd you do? It's like, I just laid down with a boner. It was just sticking up. That's tough. That's
so what happened afterwards? Like, what happened? Anything?
I'm sure there was more to it. Nothing. I'm sure the rest of the story was probably medically related, but that's all I listened to. You had a boner and you laid on your back.
That was the most important part.
Yeah. Well, shit.
So you got a busy day tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's going to be crazy. Well, I'll hit you up probably after I leave the gym.
All right.
And we'll coordinate. And until then, thanks for listening to the Exceptionally Average podcast.
Yes. Have a good night.
See you guys later. Bye.